नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य शितारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. Today we will be discussing about the Sloka Bhagavad-Gita chapter 10 verse 29. So Sloka is Bhagavad-Gita 10.29. So I will read the Sloka, the synonyms, the translation and purport now. Anantaschasmi naganam varuno yadasamaham pitranam aryama chasmi yamasamyamatamaham. Synonyms: Anantaha, Ananta, Cha, also, Asmi, I am, Naganam, of the many hooded serpents, Varunaha, the demigod controlling the water, Yadasam, of all aquatics, Aham, I am, Pitranam, of the ancestors, Aryama, Aryama, Cha, also, Asmi, I am, Yamaha, controller of death, Samyamatam, of all regulators, Aham, I am. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta, and among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, or the Lord of Death. Purport is as follows. Among the many hooded Naga serpents, Ananta is the greatest, as is the demigod Varuna among the aquatics. They both represent Krishna. There is also a planet of Pitas, ancestors, presided over by Aryama, who represents Krishna. There are many living entities who give punishment to the miscreants, and among them Yama is the chief. Yama is situated in a planet near this earthly planet. After death, those who are very sinful are taken there, and Yama arranges different kinds of punishments for them. So now let's get into our discussion for this verse today. So here we are studying the 10th chapter about some opulences of Krishna, and in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse 34, the Supreme Lord Krishna, he tells Arjuna, Manmana bhav mad bhakto madhya jimam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. So engage your mind in always thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances unto me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, you will surely come to me. So now after giving this verse, the 9th chapter is finished, and Krishna, he starts the 10th chapter by saying that now Bhuya eva mahabaho shrunume paramam vachaha. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my very dear friend. Yatteham priyamanaya vakshyami hita kamyaya. So I am going to speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. So this knowledge that what the Lord is about to give is about His opulences. So he starts the first 8 verses as just an introduction to His opulences, and from the 8th verse till the 11th verse there is the Chatushloki of Bhagavad Gita. And then after hearing this, Arjuna, he becomes convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he glorifies Krishna until the 18th verse. Then in the 18th verse he asks the Supreme Lord, how can I know you more? So in the 17th and 18th, how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered? Then he asks, please describe in detail your opulences. So then Krishna starts in the 19th verse, but in the 19th verse he says, Pradhanyataha, I am going to explain the Pradhana, or the most prominent opulences, not everything. because the Supreme Lord has so many opulences, so we cannot even comprehend those things. So thus for our benefit, so that we can understand, the Supreme Lord is giving just a few of his opulences. So then from the 20th verse till the 42nd, he gives a brief description about his opulences, and one of these is the verse that we are reading. So of the many hooded Nagas I am Ananta, and among the aquatics I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law I am Yama, the lord of death. So here Prabhupada describes in the purport that among the many hooded Naga serpents, Ananta is the greatest. So to know about Lord Ananta, one can explicitly go and read Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 5, Chapter 25. So the summary itself, Prabhupada writes a lot describing Lord Ananta, and in the course of the chapter also there is a brief description about Lord Ananta. So the chapter itself, so Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 5 Chapter 25, the chapter itself is titled The Glories of Lord Ananta. So one can go and explicitly read that chapter, and one can also refer to Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 19.128, the purport. So then now Nagas. So how Nagas got the description of the Nagas, in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3 Chapter 20 verses 47 and 48, relating to this of Lord Ananta only, Ananta is the greatest of all Nagas. So the description of Nagas and their creation is given here in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3 Chapter 20 verse 47 and 48. So now moving ahead, Varuna is associated with the oceans and water and is one of the Adityas. So the sons of goddess Aditi. His vehicle is the Makara or the crocodile. So pastime of Varuna is in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10, where the pastime is about Nanda Maharaj and Varuna. How the pastime transpires is given in the 10th canto in one of those chapters. And in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3 Chapter 17, there is also a pastime between Varuna and Hiranyaksha. How Hiranyaksha gets power and he becomes puffed up by the fact that he is very powerful, and he goes and challenges Lord Varuna for a battle. So Varuna tells him that you, instead of me, you can go to the Supreme Lord Krishna. So this pastime is also there about Lord Varuna. Now about Aryama, of the departed ancestors. The reference is from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.13.15. One can also refer to 1.13.1 purport for this. And now moving forward, we see that among the dispensers of law, the Supreme Lord is Yamaraj. He is represented by Yamaraj. So Yamaraj is the sole leader and the sole person who is responsible for administering the law and punishing the offenders or the conditioned souls who have committed offenses. So under him there are so many people who are called Yamadutas. So the pastime of Yamadutas and Vishnudutas is clearly given in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 6, the initial chapters, where in the pastime of Ajamila, how Ajamila remembers the Supreme Lord's name. He is actually calling the name of his son, but he recollects the son's name is Narayana, which is also the name of the Supreme Lord. And when Ajamila tells this name, the Supreme Lord's Dutas or the Vishnu Dutas, they arrive there, and the description between Yamadutas and Vishnu Dutas, their conversation and everything is given. And then after this, how Yamadutas go and ask Yamaraj everything. And in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 6 Chapter 3 verses 20 and 21, it is given how Yamaraj describes that there are 12 Mahajans, to his Yamadutas. So Swayambhur, Narada, Shambhu, Kumaro, Kapilo, Manu, Prallado, Janako, Bhishmo, Balir, Vayasakir, Vayam. Dwadashaite Vijanimo Dharmam Bhagavatam Bataha Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham Yam Nyatva Mritam Ashnute. So this is what Yamaraj tells his associates or the Yamadutas. So now this Yamaraj is the Lord of Death, and under his direction the Yamadutas, they take and they punish the offenders in different kinds of hells or the hellish planets. So the hellish planets are below all the other planets in the 14 planetary systems, and they are the last. And here in Canto 5 chapter 26, so Canto 5 chapter 25 is titled The Glories of Lord Ananta. Immediately after that one chapter, chapter 26, that is a description of the hellish planets. So here Shukdev Goswami describes the different kinds of hellish planets. So those who are very sinful, they are taken to these hellish planets. So what kind of offense one commits, to which hell he goes, and what punishment he gets there, all of these are described by Shukdev Goswami in this chapter, Canto 5 chapter 26. So those who are very sinful, they are taken there after death, and Yamaraja arranges different kinds of punishment for them via the Yamadutas. So this is a description of the Lord's opulences, how of the many hooded Nagas the Supreme Lord is Anantadev, and among the aquatics he is the demigod Varuna, among the departed ancestors he is Aryama, and among the dispensers of law he is Yamaraj. So this is the end of my humble attempt to explain these opulences. So this is how the Supreme Lord is pervading all these worlds, the whole creation, through his opulences. So we should all take advantage of the Supreme Lord's description here, so that we can try to worship him, and ultimately we can go back to him rather than heading towards these hellish planets. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.